What is going on, Bucs fans and CFP fans? Evan Wanish here, back at you with another video talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And today, boy oh boy, am I happy to be saying this, we are bringing back Betting the Bucs Week 1 edition. Football's back, folks. That is right, football is back. The Bucs are going to be in Atlanta on Sunday to take on the Atlanta Falcons to open up their season. And we are back with yet another season of Betting the Bucs. So without further ado, let's get right into it because we got some picks this time around. We did pretty well last season, so hopefully this season we can start off on the right note here. First off, we're going to be taking Mike Evans over 5.5 receptions. You can get that over on DraftKings right now at minus 127. Again, we're not sponsored by DraftKings, but that is what I'm using all the odds and stuff for. Get that at minus 127. Look, I think the Buccaneers are going to want to feed Mike Evans the ball. Chris Godwin is out in this game. Obviously, Jalen McMillan is out. Emeka Buka's there, but he is a rookie. So I don't think they're going to want to have him necessarily be the number one guy. So I think you're going to see Mike Evans have a good share of targets here. And I think Baker Mayfield's going to look to him early and often. So I do like the over 5.5 receptions there for big number 13. Speaking of Baker Mayfield, we are actually going to take Baker Mayfield over 239.5 passing yards at minus 112. I think the Bucs are going to try and air it out. I'm not saying they're going to abandon the run game completely, but I do think they're going to try and get the ball into Mike Evans' hands, into Emeka Buka's hands, even Bucky Irving and Rachaad White in the passing game. So I do think they're going to look to throw the football in this one. 239.5 isn't some massive number, so I was pretty comfortable with it. It actually went down throughout the week, so I do like that number there for Baker Mayfield. I think he has a decent shot at hitting it. So I think the Bucs are going to want to, again, I don't think they're going to be passing it 50 times, but I do think when they go through the air, it might be pretty explosive. So we'll have to wait and see that. But I do like that number, 239.5, again, minus 112. For our Falcons one, I usually like to do about 4 bets per episode, and I usually like to pick one for the opposing team if you guys are new to this series. This one, the Falcons one, is going to be Kyle Pitts over 40.5 receiving yards at minus 110. The reason for this, look, Kyle Pitts, I know, understand, especially in the fantasy football world, he hasn't been the greatest, right? He's been a pretty big disappointment for a lot of fantasy owners out there for a couple of years now. People sort of hoping the Kyle Pitts breakout would happen, but he does pretty darn well against the Buccaneers. Last season, he actually went over that number both times the Buccaneers faced them, over that 40.5 number. So he had 7 catches for 88 yards in the first matchup and also had 4 catches for 91 yards and 2 touchdowns in the second matchup. So Kyle Pitts has given the Buccaneers some trouble, and I don't know if that's going to, stop this time around. I think Michael Penix Jr. is going to want to target the tight end there. The tight end can oftentimes be a safety blanket, and Michael Penix Jr. did play a little bit last year, but we have to remember he's almost a rookie, right? Like almost a rookie. I'm not going to call him a rookie because he did play last year. This isn't like his first NFL action, but I do think he could rely on Kyle Pitts sometimes as a safety valve. And look, the Buccaneers have had issues covering Kyle Pitts, so I do like that bet there, especially at the number that you got it. I feel comfortable with that. Like I said, Kyle Pitts has surpassed that number both times he played the Buccaneers last year. And to round it off, taking the Buccaneers money line at minus 135. The Bucs are favored in this game right now. I believe they're minus 1.5 as of the recording of this video. But I do think the Buccaneers are going to win this game. I think they want to come out on the right foot in 2025. I also think they want to get that taste out of their mouths, right? Yeah, they won the NFC South, but they got swept by these guys, right? They got swept, and really over the last couple of matchups, the Falcons have played pretty darn well against the Bucs. So I think they want to get back at Atlanta, in Atlanta nonetheless. So I think the Buccaneers are going to come out hungry. I think they're going to try and get the job done, and I think they ultimately will. So I do like the Buccaneers money line there at minus 135. You put that all together in a 4-leg parlay, and it is plus 900 on DraftKings. $10 bet pays $100. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think. Are you going to ride with me? Are you going to fade me? like I said, I'm curious to hear what your guys' thoughts and opinions are. Let me know if you have any bets that you are thinking about potentially doing for this weekend. Maybe not just Buccaneers, but just in general. Definitely always looking for some advice. But hopefully, you guys all enjoyed this episode of Betting the Bucs. So good to be back. And we are going to be in for a fun season, I think, of Buccaneers football, but also here over at Betting the Bucs. So, with that being said, thank you all for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And go Bucs.